In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to change out the spring on an Ares Amoeba AS02 Striker sniper rifle. Fortunately, all these rifles have the tools in them. So here in the handle, you just pull this back and you pull out the bottom hex wrench, and that's what we're going to use to take the bolt out. So the first thing we have to do is remove this button on the side of the gun. You'll find it on the left side of the rifle, and what it does is whenever you pull the bolt back, this little button comes popping out with the red edge around it, letting you know that your gun is cocked. Use the smallest hex wrench that you have in your toolkit located in the stock of your gun, and let's go ahead and take that off. So the reason I'm changing this spring out is because I was playing the other day, shooting at people, and nobody really felt it. Turned out I was shooting 0.85 joules, and to tell you what, whenever I pull the gun back, I can barely feel it. So now let's go ahead and take this out. So to take this little button out, all you have to do is just turn your rifle over, lift your bolt about halfway, tap it just a little bit, and it'll pop right out. Once you have the button out, the whole bolt assembly just comes right out. Go ahead and set your gun aside. We're gonna work on this. So here's the bolt assembly here, and on the end is the nozzle. On the top of the nozzle are a couple of holes. You're actually gonna take your hex wrench, put it in the holes, and then unscrew that nozzle like this. But be very, very careful, because this nozzle is held in place with this spring right here, and this thing is gonna pop out and it'll hit you in the face. Inside the bolt assembly here, you're gonna find three things. You're gonna find the spring, you're gonna find the spring guide, and you're gonna find the piston. We're gonna replace the spring so I can get rid of this right now, but you'll see this gun is filthy. So what I'm gonna do is take my alcohol pads here, clean the whole thing off, and then I'm gonna lube the O-rings with some of this Airsoft air gun grease. So I've wiped everything off with an alcohol pad and then made sure it was dry by using this little paper towel. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna lube it. So I'm gonna put a little bit of lube on the O-ring of the piston. I'm gonna put a little bit on around the edges of the spring guide, and the button that slides inside my cylinder there, I'm gonna lube the outside of this. I am not gonna put any lubrication at all on the inside of the cylinder. All right, so we're gonna put it back together. So we're gonna take our spring guide and drop it down in our spring like this. And then we're gonna load it into our cylinder this way. This little bit of spring sticking up, we're gonna take our piston and slide it on top and slide it all the way down inside. You'll notice it won't stay. So now this is a little bit of a balancing act, because we gotta take the top of this nozzle, press it down in there, and get it started. And since this is a 400 FPS spring, it's a little tight. But I got it started. Once I got it started, just take your little hex wrench here, put it in one of the holes, and tighten it down. So there's a little bit of an issue with putting the bolt in without taking the whole gun apart. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. Inside here, there are two little pins that stick up. Both of them are easy to press, but the one in the far back of the gun is actually set at a right angle, so when you try to put the bolt in, you can't slide it in past that. If you take your trigger and press it down, it actually lowers that, but then the pin in the back doesn't go down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in this way, push that front pin down, that way I can slide my bolt in. You'll notice on the bottom of your bolt assembly, there's three little windows on it. That pin that's in the back, make sure that it connects with this one and not the ones on the side when you slide it in. Otherwise, the bolt will not go in the gun. Easy peasy. Once you get into this position, you know it sticks just a little bit, just wiggle the bolt around just a little bit, push the handle down, and slide it into place. With the bolt all the way in and the bolt pushed down, it's time to reinstall our loading button again. Now that we have the bolt assembly back installed, let's do a function check. Oh, that's a lot tighter pull. And it sounds like it's shooting a little harder. Now let's do an FPS check with some 20s. All right, so with a .20 BB, I'm shooting 403 FPS, which isn't bad. That is 1.5 joules. 403 FPS. Now I have .36 gram BBs loaded. Let's see what I'm getting. And I'm getting 1.4 joules, which is perfect because on my field, 1.4 joules is a 0-foot MED. So what I have here is a 0-foot sniper. You can see how easy it is to replace a spring in your AS02 Striker sniper rifle. I have another video for you right here you can watch. It's video gameplay of me using this rifle, sniping some people. So thanks for hanging out with me to the end. You guys have a good one. Shreq out.